the presidential election?
What happened here is but the politicians, the actual
What exactly happened?
intimidation, we hijacking ballot board.
So that happened at your unit?
What 12 units? We were walking around unit to unit, intimidating people. Intimidation was everywhere. And even scared people away.
So were you also scared away, Babo?
Huh?
Were you scared away?
I went there. I want to vote for my party. I voted, but the ballot box was made away by hoodlums.
Oh, interesting.
And the where you hear that they kill someone at better. The person was trying to stop them, not to take away the ballot box. He was shot dead.
Where did this one happen?
At Ubeta.
Ubeta. That's in our order as well.
Yeah, it's everywhere in the net now. Even go to the Vanguard, you can see where they kill the APC community campaigner.
All right, thank you for calling, Babo.
Okay.
All right, we have Tamuno from Okrika. Ooh. All right, Tamuno, please do well to call back. So I'm also taking messages, all right? So you can as well send them to 0809 030 6416 0809 030 6416. All right, so based on your own experience, did INEC improve? So Babo says he's congratulating INEC. INEC did better this time around. Although he didn't tell me what it is exactly that INEC did that warranted the thumbs up from him. All right, but I would like you to tell me what it is INEC did this time around that showed improvement. Remember, after the presidential election, there was a lot of outcry and people were looking forward to the governorship election with eyes on INEC. Improve. You must show that you're not partisan. You must show that you're ready for these elections. You must show. So did INEC improve in your polling units? We have an Anonymous calling. Hello, Anonymous.
Yeah, Constance, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Anonymous.
Yes, I voted. I voted in the presidential election and I also did voted in the parliamentary election.
All right. So tell me what was different this time around?
There are a lot of differences, but the thing I can say is that there was a lot of voter apathy this time around. In the last election, people came out in my polling unit in unit 9 Ward 3, their political government. Yeah, people came out in mass to vote, but this time around, when I went to my polling unit by past 10 to 11. When I reached there, I noticed that the security personnel and the INEC personnel were just sitting, waiting for voters to come. So the agents were just standing there. Anybody that comes, they try to lure you to voting their candidate. But I had to go back. I had to go back to the house because there was threat before that day of the election that people shouldn't come out if you're not voting for their candidate. So to tell some of my patients that nothing is really happening, that you can come and vote. So I later went back there by 2 and casted my vote. So,
interesting.
And the second thing I noticed was that I saw a black vehicle that came, and the police personnel were going one after the other, entering into the vehicle. And they were coming out with their phones. I believe they received transfer. So they were coming out one after the other. So they kind of that. And the INEC personnel, it was their turn to come, but there was a kind of disagreement between them and the people that were doing this case. So that's just what I noticed.
Interesting. All right. Thank you very much for calling. All right, we have justice from Choba. Oh, wow. So do you vote during the election? Were you out there? Was there an improvement? What INEC did at the election compared to what INEC did during the presidential elections? Talk to me. George Owa Vienna on Facebook. George Ojo from Rewo, Odegu. During at my polling unit, there was low turnout at my polling unit, low voter intimidation. And then, the thing that happened differently was came out pain to people that didn't vote their party. Suka Maxi Brown, you're not answering the question. You say something else. All right. And then Hudson. All right, the same Suka. All right. He says, that's in a local government area. I spray LG ballot paper in Kana, local government. That's Suka Maxi Brown. All right, Suka. Thank you. Get on Facebook and let's hear from you. I want to know your own experience during this election. What I'm looking out for is what was different this time around. All right. Of course, there was widespread voter apathy during this election. Just like the last caller who said by the time he got there at his polling unit, the electoral was there, like ad hoc stuff, and people were not really there. They were just waiting for people. At past 10, wasn't just a lot of other places. But then we also heard of this where there was massive turnout of voters. Churchill is calling. Where is Churchill calling from? Hello, Churchill.
Yeah.
No, okay.
My experience. No.
How did you vote?
That Immaculate Heart College.
I know that is where. Where you're calling from?
I'm calling from Borotri.
All right. So tell me what is happening.
My daddy was didn't capture me as followed the presidential election. Okay. Until they looked at my car and the right was on the they did material used did not capture me. Until when the staff used my card, and they saw that it was the right place, and then they checked their list. They saw it before they could saw the beavers captured, the thumbprint and all of that. The paper I feel. When you get the line, the division of those who appeared for the presidential election, when you divide it into 10, one fraction was the number for the governorship and the House of Assembly.
Okay, that was really low.
So very low. So I think that the populace, the society, they got dispirited because they did not get what they wanted from the presidential. They felt INEC disappointed them at any rate, you know.
Okay, but overall, yeah, Churchill, at your polling unit, even though you had that issue with the beavers, which was your personal experience, did that same thing happen to the other people that came out to vote?
Okay, I wouldn't vouch for anyone. I'm just talking on my own perspective because...
Okay, I understand.
So after which I left the premises for home.
All right.
I didn't want to observe any had I known or shock or because there was so much stress. Because online I saw a comment by former President Abdul Salami that the threats following the elections are threatening so much something not to write home about. So following the past experiences, you know, in Nigerian politics and electoral processes, I decided not to see anything like ballot box snatching, shooting, hazards.
Okay, thank you for calling, Churchill.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
All right, Goodbye. You too. So, generally, it was peaceful at your polling unit. Braid is calling from my one. Hello, Braid.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Braid.
Yes. I came from Asari-Toro local government.
Okay.
In Asari-Toro. You will agree with me that on the 18th, there was no election in Asari-Toro.
I will not agree with you. I was here in Rumosi. Braid, don't say I should agree with you, I beg. Tell me what you saw. I want to know your experience, all right?
That is what I am telling you.
But you now said I will agree with you. I will not agree with you. I was not there.
Okay. As you can see with me.
I cannot see. I'm not. Hey, this English. Braid, just tell me what you saw.
Okay. From my own perspective and what happens in Asari-Toro local government.
Okay.
Yes. On Saturday, there was no election, which I think even your media also carries it. There is a very serious protest that some of with all the returning officers were kept in somebody's custody. who is not an INEC official, and they couldn't come out.
Wow, what's happening? Sorry, Braid. Have to let you go. Your line is breaking. I don't know what that was. But Braid, you can call back if you can. All right. So please, when you call in, don't say I will not agree with you. I will not see with you. I was not there. I was right here. This was my polling unit, bringing you updates at the top of each hour. That's what I did on Saturday. I wasn't out there voting. I was working on that day. All right. So you tell me what happened at your polling unit. Your polling units. That's what I'm interested in. Thank you very much. I'm seeing some comments that are not answering my question. I'm asking a very, very, very simple questions, all right? Based on your experience, tell me, did INEC improve? Yes or no? Yes, they did this and that. The BVAS worked this time around because during the presidential election, the BVAS did not work at my polling unit. INEC did not improve. Why? Because during the presidential election, the BVAS worked, but the governorship election, the BVAS did not work. So INEC failed. That's the kind of thing I want you to tell me. I need you to tell me what you saw. Don't tell me, oh, INEC is partisan. INEC belongs to ZZZ party. INEC. No, that's not what we're doing right now. All right. Thank you. Tamuno is calling from Okrika. Hello, Tamuno. Okay. Apologies, Tamuno. Please call back. Jonah is calling from Kogi State. Hi, Jonah.
Yes, good afternoon, Costa. I'm Ogwojone Justice.
Oh, Ogwojone Justice.
Yes,
You're
I'm
welcome.
watching you through Facebook Live. Yeah.
Interesting. All right, so tell me what happened at your polling unit.
Thank you very much. I just have to.
All right. Ogwojone Justice, please call back. All right, thank you. All right, 070-0923, 070-0923. And then you can send me messages via WhatsApp to 0809-030-6416. Based on your experience, if you voted, if you were at the polling unit, if you left your house and went to your polling unit on Saturday to vote, so far you got there on Saturday, tell me what happened differently. What was it like? If you compare it with what you saw during the presidential election, what would you say is different from what happened during the presidential election? And then we're still on your experience. Based on your experience, did INEC improve? All right. I still have one more question, but we'll touch on that one after we go on the news break. But for now, let's get back to the phone lines. Alvan is calling from Rumodamaya. Hello, Alvan. Hello, Alvan.
Hello.
Hi, Alvan.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Alvan. I'm listening.
Yeah, good afternoon. I actually want to talk about the
Did you vote on
INEC.
Saturday, Alvan?
Yes, I had to go to my polling unit, understand?
Where was your polling unit? Polling unit.
At Timokuta under the bridge. Yes, Timokuta under the bridge.
Okay. So what happened there?
Yeah, unfortunately, the visa brought up ugly situation and all that.
Sorry, hold on. I didn't get that. Could you say that again? You said the BVAS did what?
Okay, the visa did not work at the moment.
What do you mean by
it was
did
better
not
that
work
it
at the
was-
moment?
The visa did not work.
Oh. Alvan. Hello, Alvan.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. So, Alvan, what happened at
Okay.
your polling unit on Saturday?
So the
electoral officials, they came on time. Unfortunately, the thing did not work. Then later on, it started working. But that, it was fancy to be compared with the 25th March Day election.
25th February.
That one was filled up with crowd. But this very own, nobody came out.
Some people came out, just that. It wasn't a mass. When you say nobody, but you were there.
Okay. No, yeah. Few persons came out.
Okay. All right, so that was what happened. So during the presidential election, was there issues with the Beavers?
Beaver also developed an issue from the beginning. So we have to instruct the electorate, the INEC officials, to go straight there and see what the other person did to make sure that the Beaver works. So you have to go there and look at one or two things that the other guy did, and then he put it in place, and the Beaver started working.
Okay. All right. Thank you for calling, Alvan. Blessing, are you still there? All right. Blessing is no longer there. Blessing was calling from Ugruta. All right. Well, let's read messages, okay? I'm not taking any calls right now. I'll take a look at the messages, read them, and then we'll go on break for the news. Trending stories. Okay, good day. My name is Bernard from Eleme Ward 6, ATO Unit 5. The election in my unit went well. INEC officials came early this time, and the officer tried their best, just that last time there were many voters compared to this one, and it was very peaceful and quick. Interesting. Thank you. John Odu from Eagle Island said, my ward is Ward 18, Unit 001 in Falga, inside River State University. The different thing that's happened in my unit. Number one, the voters did not turn up like they did in the presidential election. INEC arrived very early, even before 8 a.m. INEC, their machines worked very well and voting was peaceful. Okay. INEC failed us woefully. What's your name? All right, so that's another thing. If you're sending me a message, include your name. All right? So I wouldn't sound like I'm just here talking. I want a name. What's your name and where are you texting me from? Emma Otaka from Choba says, I did vote at Ward 15, Unit 19. This was at Ndudo Hall, Choba. There was tremendous improvement on the side of INEC. The only difference is the fact that voters did not come out like it was on the presidential polls. I personally asked the presiding officer if the results will be uploaded, and he promised it will. And of a truth, he did as promised. All right, Zima, thank you. Someone is sending me a video. What's your name? Solomon from Kana says, good afternoon. There were a lot of differences between the presidential and governorship elections. INEC improved so much to the extent of very funny stuff. To the extent of sending Ikwere ballot papers to Kana local government, stopping us from voting. Then we tried to peacefully protest. The police did very well as well by tear gassing us, and we are now seeing results from the same Kana that did not vote in favor of who the government wants. Solomon from Kana. That's your message. And then this next person, what's your name now? What's your name? No name. All right. Chima says, my dear, 2023 election would have been the best election, but because you're not answering my question, you're saying something else. Answer my questions, all right? I have specific questions. That's what I want us to talk about. Okay? Good afternoon, Constance. Lorenzo Delight from Eche says, in Unit 004, Ward 16, Eche local government area, INEC staff came early. Beavers was okay for accreditation, but later, armed policemen, okay, when you say policemen, I want to be careful with this. And you know why? It could be people dressed in police uniform. That's why I want to be careful with this particular part of your message, all right? Good afternoon. I'm Williams from Fuche community. Though the number of voters that thronged the presidential election was almost 2 times what we witnessed on the 18th of March, it was very peaceful in Fuche community. The opposing groups were winning and dining to the glory of God. All right. Round face from Rumekini says the INEC officials came almost 10 a.m. to Rumekini. As they came and set materials, it was few persons that came to vote, unlike the presidential election where there was a large number of people waiting to cast their votes. At a certain period, INEC officials were waiting for people to come, and for like 2 to 3 hours, nobody came out to vote. But the change or improvement by the INEC is that INEC uploaded the results from the polling units in Ward 15, Unit 10 in Rumekini. All right. Okay. Bakaka from Ozwaha community. In my polling unit 001/010, Ward 11, Ozwaha community in Ikwere local government area, the governorship and states House of Assembly elections went very well. INEC did their uploading of results online with the promise they made to us before and during the elections. All right. Thank you. Good day. As a matter of fact, INEC took us back to 2003. What happened, really? Franklin, what happened? I'm asking for experience. What happened? How did INEC take you back to 2003? What did they do? Or what did they not do? All right. Thank you. Precious from Eliparanwo says, at the polling unit in front of my house, which I sat to witness everything went on well. Voting happened, but suddenly thugs led by, you say it's your friend, interesting, came to tell the ad hoc staff not to upload the results. The other political thugs opposed, and there was stoning of bottles. In fact, it was a mess. So that means you didn't even go out to vote, Precious. You sat in your house and you were viewing at those who went out to vote. You were looking at them from the comfort of your home. Interesting. All right, Sapi from Choba says, but for the seeming VIP treatment I received during the presidential and national assembly elections, I wouldn't have voted in my Ward 15, Unit 14, Ovobiakbo, Rumo Chakara, Choba to be precise. Now, because of the intimidating crowd. However, last Saturday, I woke up early and walked down to my polling unit. I was given number 1 tag. Before 9 a.m., INEC and their ad hoc staff arrived. Unlike the presidential election, before 10:15 a.m., I was done with voting for my preferred candidates. Capturing and voting was seamless. I scored them 75% an A compared to 45% a D on the 25th. The crowd was less than what I saw on 25th February, though I went home to rest. But there was no problems. The agents refused politics to divide their relationship. I commend INEC for their excellent performance and the electorate. Sapi from Choba. Okay. So let's go on that break now. We have the news, all right? And when we come back from the news, this is the angle I would like us to explore. You know, usually we talk about our votes counting. Now, the issue of voter apathy came up after the presidential election. And one of the things that kept coming up is votes counting. That was something people kept bringing up. Our votes do not count. Our votes do not count. And you hear people say, I'm not voting because our votes do not count. So my question now is, what should the next crop of leaders do to ensure that votes actually count? That's what we'll be doing after the news. Just stay tuned. I'll be right back. welcome back now. It's 7 minutes gone past 1, and this is the sunny side. How is your day going? Are you enjoying the sunny weather? Or is the sun making you angry? Well, you can't stop the sun from shining, but you can actually stop yourself from getting the direct hit, right? You can actually protect your skin from the scourge of the sun. And how do you do that? Get under a shade. It's as simple as that. And drink water, and you will feel better. All right. So we're talking about the just concluded elections, right? And so far, I've heard some of your experiences. All over social media, we see people posting videos and pictures of what they witnessed. Even some are sharing pictures and videos that they do not know where it came from. Yeah, so fake news as well is flying around, as well as authentic news. So here's what I want to know now, all right? With all that's happened so far, especially the fact that there was massive or widespread low turnout of voters as compared to the presidential election, where we had massive turnouts of voters. Voter apathy during the governorship election is something that was widely witnessed. And the major reason why there was voter apathy is the fact that a lot of people believe that their votes do not count. A lot of people believe our votes do not count. So during the presidential election, especially the youths, a lot of them went out there to vote, and at the end of the day, they were not satisfied with the process. They were not satisfied with the outcome. And so it continues. And I remember before the governorship election, we were back here on air asking people, will you vote in the governorship election? And then some people were like, no, I'm not voting. Our votes do not count. And we had to go ahead again and start, trying to boost people's confidence, trying to tell you that your votes will count. How else would you know if your vote will count if you do not go out there to vote? And some of the messages we even received here, and I'm sure we didn't read on air, some people were even berating us for urging people to go and vote. So, if you are one of those people who believe that the votes of the voters do not count in Nigeria, why? I'm not asking why. What do you think the next crop of leaders should do to ensure that votes count? I'm very sure it's not everybody who shares that same sentiment, that our votes do not count. There are many other people who believe that our votes do count. Now, when you even say our votes do not count, is it that the person you had in mind to vote for did not emerge victorious? And so, as far as you're concerned, the person you voted for, you and your friends, you and your family members, you and your team, you and the people around you voted for, did not win. So far this person did not win. It means our votes do not count. Is that what it is? Or is it the fact that we still had thuggery here and there during the voting process or during the elections? And it's one thing that I was really hoping was not going to happen again. But during the presidential election, we saw that. And then during the governorship election, we still got those reports. And I just keep wondering, really, when are we going to stop? At what point would those who like to employ these thugs, at what point would they even say, okay, you know what, let's just stop. Let's allow people to just go and vote. Let's stop getting thugs, hoodlums, gathering people to young boys and empowering them to go and cause mayhem, to truncate the electoral process, to disturb elections. Let's just stop. Let's just allow people to vote. At what point, really? All right. But my interest right now is, what do you think the next crop of leaders should do? What do you think they should do to ensure that votes count as they are there? That votes will start counting from the next elections. All right. 070-0923-0923. So what I'm looking at is solutions right now. That's what I'm looking at. I've gotten all the complaints. I've gotten all this is what happened at my polling unit. This time around, I'm looking at solutions for a particular issue that many people have brought up. Our votes do not count. So what do you think? What are you suggesting? What are you advising the next crop of leaders to do? It could be an advice to INEC. It could be an advice to, of course, the political class. They're the ones who are taking over the reins of power. Presidential, or who's going to be the president, those of them who will be serving in the Senate and the House of Assemblies, or Houses of Assembly rather. So, what do you think they can do? Is it those of them in the House? They should come up with a law, a legislation that should do this and do that. They should do this and do that. You know, what can they do? What's your suggestion? All right, let's talk. 070-0923-0923. And then I'm taking messages via WhatsApp to 0809-030-6416. Hello? Hello? Is there nobody there? Or, apologies. I was actually on the wrong channel. All right, please call me back if you can. Thank you very much. All right, so this person, what's your name? Precious from Eliparanwo says, when I mean that my vote does not count is that after I have suffered on the line to cast my vote, the votes are destroyed and the people in the positions do their thing. My dear, nothing can stop this because these men are raising the same kinds to take over from them, and the righteous ones are hindered unless you are ready to sign up to do their bidding. Precious, are you giving up like that? Like, for you, nothing can be done. Like, it is what it is. As we see, na so it be. Nothing go change. Come on, don't be like that. Good afternoon, Constance. When you ask about how leaders can make votes, I ask which leaders exactly? The same ones who seem to find illegal means to gain positions of legitimacy? The same leaders who break the law to hold offices established by the law? You can't ask custodians of violence to help gestate peaceful processes. These leaders are not ready to do away with a system that will largely put them away from government and, if there's any justice, in prisons. As for this election cycle, it has mostly proven the cynics right. In spite of the technological advances and seeming voter participation, we seem to not be able to defeat the rigging machine, at least not yet. Maybe this is proof that peaceful democratic process might not be the solution to the deep rot of our dear Nigeria. Oh, wow. So talk to me now. What's your advice? Leaders are coming up, all right? So whether or not you're screaming our votes do not count or our votes count, INEC did not do well, INEC should be applauded, oh, this and that. People are being announced winners. Are you aware? Oh, yeah. And handovers will be done. And people are going to take over. And they will become leaders. Whether you like them or you hate them, whether you hate their political party that they belong to, or you love that political party, people are coming up as leaders. They will govern us. All right? So what's your advice? Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Good afternoon. What's your name?
Good afternoon. I'm not just this is the third time I've called.
Oh, interesting. What's your name?
I'm Tamuno Joshua.
All right, Tamuno Joshua.
I'm from Okrika, yeah.
All right, you're welcome. So tell me, what should they do to ensure that votes count, really?
Hey, you have changed the topic. I wanted to tell you what I observed in my unit. That was when I was calling earlier.
Oh,
before
okay. Can you do that very quickly?
Okay, yeah. What happened to my own unit at Ekle Canal, to be precise? which also your station carried the news. I witnessed when some Mulons came and around 9 after 12 to precise, they came and they carried the buses. That is not even my problem. The one that surprised me most was when even the policemen that are there entered into the bus, I asked bus these men came with, including the what they call them, the INEC officials. All of them in the 3 units entered into the same bus. It's very surprising. If Ulons came and carried a jack bus, I think with what they told us, I was also a trainee when I went to the hardcore training, INEC training, that if they came, we should just allow them. They want to carry, we shouldn't struggle with them. But this one, to my greatest surprise, the policemen that are assigned to that unit entered into this IAS bus alongside with the INEC, 9 of them, the 9 staff in the 3 units, entered into this IAS along with the boys. Though your station carried the news anyway.
So hold on.
But I witnessed it anyway.
Okay, you can't hear me. All right, thank you for calling. All right, to the WhatsApp messages. That was a one-off, though. We're taking solutions now. Bernard from Trans-Samadi says, "Good day, Constance. The next crop of INEC leaders and the presidency have a lot of work to do. I think they will talk out their tongue to convince Nigerians to regain their confidence. They should just use electronic voting and end ballot box snatching and rewriting of results. Bear in mind, too, he who comes in via wrong system may not want to implement a good system. We are in a dangerous position now." All right, that one came from Bernard. All right, Bernard. Precious from Eliparanwo says, "My best advice is for us to return to the military government. Oh, wow. When nonsense would not be tolerated." That's precious advice. Let's see. Bernard, I thought I just read your message. All right. Bernard from Eleme says, "From my observation and experience thus far, I think votes count regardless of few irregularities compared to the past elections where there are many records of electoral violence. My advice is that the INEC should work more on the electronic servers and the people shouldn't give up on the process yet because I strongly know the era of free and fair election is not far." All right. Thank you. Hello.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name?
Thank you. My name is Stanley. I am calling from Ikoku.
All right, Stanley. What's your advice?
Yes, thank you. Before my contribution, what we are saying now, are they listening to us? Are they working with it? If not, we've been providing good solutions. Okay, back to our topic.
All right.
Our political class. What they should do is that the government, they should bring what they are using in America. Let's introduce that system here. Okay? Let's bring it here.
Why America? Why you were specific? America. Why America? Why not?
Because their election is always good. I've never seen anybody taking his opponent to the court after election. They believe in their system and it is working for them. Why is it that our vote will never be free and fair? But let's try our proper solutions to our problem now. The solution, in my opinion, let's call Americans to conduct our election for us. If our leaders are doing it, our vote will not count. This is a simple truth.
That's what you believe. All right, thank you for calling. So, his solution is America all the way. So he's not necessarily saying we should all jackpot to America. He's saying we should bring America to Nigeria. All right. Let's George from Romokurushi says, "Until we get rid of all these agents of retrogression called the regular politicians, we can't get any positive result. Men of good conscience who are bent on doing the right thing is the only solution to our problem." Okay. Let me see. Who's this? All right. Thank you for your message all the same. No name and nothing really. Tamta Solomon from Igweche says it's very simple. First, the current INEC chairman should step down. Second, all PVCs should be invalid and new voter cards should be issued out just as the ATM card with personal PIN and long serial number just as ATM card. Then thirdly, we go electronical. They should work with the banks to achieve that. With our NIN and any other ID such as BVN, there will be no double voter card for anyone. Interesting. So you want to subject us to the process of collecting another set of PVCs? Okay. Bright Chinda is on Facebook and he's not really happy. So he's asking, which improvements are you talking about? INEC is still not serious. The BVAS was just a ploy to deceive people. Do the BVAS have anywhere you record directly the different votes scored by different political parties? The most monetary influential parties leveraged on those shortfalls to perfect absolute rigging of the highest order. Virtually, many results across different polling units were mutilated to favor certain candidates. Network for uploading of snapped copy of results was not stable. Not until a well-configured electronic voting process that will see Nigerian electorates voting at the comfort of their respective homes, then we can beat our chests that we have not. Okay, then we've gotten it right. All right. So let me see. Mma Olebara says, it is sad that Nigeria has degenerated to this level where votes no longer count. What we now have is selection. Why spending billions to organize elections when INEC cannot live up to its promises? The chairman has torn the garment of honor, leaving Nigeria with a mask of shame. What happens to a state where one party sweeps off all the candidates? So what happens to minority in the House? No opposition? What a shame of a nation. I have completely given up on this country. Completely? Ma Olebara. It's just an election. There are so many other things to do. There are so many other angles to improve. Really. Election is not the... how do I put this now? It's only a process, right? I don't even know if we think about the citizens themselves, our character as individuals. It speaks volume, really. It says a lot about how the system would keep working. If we keep having more and more people who say, I've given up, then we can't be expecting any kind of change. I'll be right back.
Sincerely, I don't want to wait till I graduate from this school before I think of what to do with my life.
Exactly.
The elections, right? And I'm hearing someone say that she's given up on, or in the country, she's given up on Nigeria totally. And I'm saying if we have more and more and more people giving up, just imagine that out of the over 200 million people, that well over 100 million of them say, I have given up. What do you think is going to happen to this country? Really? You can't give up. That's all I'm saying. That's not the way to go. You don't give up. You look for, okay, since if where I am, I can't seem to make, I can't see the leaders make the kind of change that I want to see. Then how about you bring your eyes down? And as you bring it down, you bring it inwards and you be talking to yourself. And then you say to yourself, what can I do to make a change where I am? So that the people around me won't have to even remember that there are some guys up there who are not doing things the way they ought to do them. So it's not just the leaders, those who are voted into power. It's you, it's me, it's all of us. If you give up, keep helping them. Let's not invest in our place. Let's not make Nigeria good. Yeah, that's what you're advising. That's what it's looking like. You know, sometimes when I hear people talk about Japa, they make it sound like it's 100 naira transport fare. But we're talking millions here, people. When you go ingest it, or invest it in another country, and we say Nigeria is so bad. So what can be done, really, if we want our votes to start counting? All right. Who's this? Ogu Ojone Justice. All right. We couldn't take your call, but you sent a message here. You say INEC has largely improved across the country, except in some cases that people are left with their own culture, norms, and habits towards election, that it's a do or die affair. We can't use what happened in our own environment to entirely condemn INEC. That's interesting. That's interesting. All right. So if the things went south, or if things went south in your own polling unit, it doesn't mean that that is what it is all over the country. There are places where people are reporting it was peaceful, it was this, it was that. All right. Still doesn't negate that there was crisis here and there. There were issues here and there. The rigging, the ballot box snatching. I said it earlier that I was hoping that this 2023 elections would be that election where we would say, oh, there was no ballot box snatching. I wasn't even thinking we would have something like that, but hello, we still witnessed it, sadly. All right, we have Talk Your Own coming up, and afterwards we'll be back.
Are you up to date with ideas for sustainable development?
92.3 Nigeria Info serves you up.